All right, welcome to another episode of the Empowernment Perspective Podcast. I go by the name of Demiso Josie alongside
Spencer's here.
How you doing, good sir?
I'm doing better. The weather's nice.
What, you ain't like Chicago weather?
I love Chicago, didn't like the weather. It's cold.
It wasn't that cold. It was not that bad.
Never remind you the fact that you said to me while we were standing in Ann Arbor that you'd rather have the ticket. You're gonna take the ticket versus paying $10 for parking.
It was cold. I don't do well in the cold, right? I don't function in cold, but
yes,
I get it.
Cold.
But Chicago's a good city. It's a cool city.
Chicago was a really cool city. I was a little bothered by the fact that people were still getting on that boat and riding around.
It was like 20 degrees below zero.
It was freezing out there.
That is funny. Before we get to where we are, I want to share, we're going to start a new segment in here called Take It Personal, right? So, when we are in Orlando.
Yes,
and,
I took it personal.
You took it personal.
Absolutely, I took it personal.
There.
Yeah.
But I saw something.
Shout out to Cali.
Yeah, shout out to the Innovative Keely, Innovative School Summit. We'll be back down there in the end of June, and then out in Vegas in July. But why do people get stupid on vacation?
I think it's a chance for them to let loose and free. And they don't just really think rational anymore. They just go with the flow.
Well, I'm going to give you an example of why I said this, right? So in the Orlando airport, they got that tram car, that rail car that goes by, right? Now, you're in Orlando. You expect the weather to be a little bit warm. This lady was probably about 60, 65. She had a fake chinchilla on, right? So, listen, the problem is when you get on there, the door's closing. It's just the noise goes ding, 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 right? So you know it's closing. So the lady, she's taking her sweet old time, not rushing. She hears the ding.
Yes.
The door's closed on her shoulders.
Yes.
Now, you would think you would try to wiggle your way out. You're either going forward or backwards, right? She's just sitting there like this. And, like, the door was not supposed to shut on her.
Yes.
So the guy opens up the door. She kind of just walks on in there. I said, lady, you heard the ding. Like, why you keep going forward? Like, back up.
So you said she had no common sense at all?
No common sense. And then we get off of there. And we go down. And in the airport, you got all these signs saying ground transportation, rent a car. Boo, 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 boo. So we get our bags. And me and this lady were walking neck and neck to each other, both talking about rental cars, getting a rental car. See the sign with the arrow pointing down. She's like,
I think I was standing there.
Yeah, she was like, is that where the rental cars
Absolutely,
are? That's what the sign says, right? Like, why
I would say maybe it has something to do with people being 30,000 feet in the air. So maybe during the course of being up so high that their common sense stays low in the area and they just don't take it with them. Or they didn't pack their common sense with them.
I'm going to go with that. Or they just stupid, right? Because I went through TSA yesterday.
Okay.
And I went through pre-check. I wasn't supposed to. I gangstered my way into pre-TSA.
You thugged your way through it.
Right. So you were supposed to take off anything metal, right? And your shoes and all this other dumb stuff, right?
Yes.
So I'm sitting behind this one guy. He goes through, it beeps. All right, sir, take your watch off. All right, takes the watch off. Do you have anything else metal on that might ring up? No, I'm good. Bing, bing, bing.
Yes.
Take your belt off. Sir, you got anything metal on? No, I'm good. Bing, bing, bing. Got change in his pocket. Like, why are people so stupid on vacation? Like, I don't understand. It's crazy.
I'm telling you, it has something to do with being on an airplane.
This was before they got on the plane.
They didn't pack their common sense. They left their common sense at home.
People are stupid on vacation.
So everyone, make sure you pack your common sense before you leave.
I'm taking that personal. Stop being stupid on vacation. So listen, we are in the Mecca blueberry capital of the world.
Yes.
Hamilton, New Jersey.
Yes, spelled with an O.
With an O. Yes. Make sure you have that distinction for sure. And we are in Casciano's, right? And this coffee bar here. Yes. This is my old stomping grounds when I used to work here.
Good coffee.
Got the coffee. Good coffee.
This is vanilla and hazelnut that you made.
Yes,
She made a special blend for me.
Well, that's awesome. So why don't you introduce yourself to the people and what you do here?
Sure. Okay, so my name is Alma. I am a barista here. I started working here right when I started college, and I used to come to this place when I was back in high school. Like I found this place freshman year of high school, and I've been coming ever since. So we originally opened our doors because our boss had a vision. Like she wanted to be a part of this revitalization for Hamilton. Hamilton was completely different 15 years ago. I would only come downtown to buy bubbles from the dollar store that was downtown. Yeah, bubbles and sidewalk chalk because I was like 8.
Like bubbles.
Yeah, bubbles. So like we would only come, to buy like small things like that. We're young kids. Right. You can't like go out by yourself. So it would be a group of us coming downtown to find something to do. And then like after a while, like we found this coffee shop, and again it was like Hampton transformed. A lot of small businesses were opening up.
Time out. Back up.
Sure.
Back up. You were coming downtown to find something to do, and initially it was about bubbles.
Yeah, initially it started off as bubbles.
And chalk.
And chalk, sidewalk chalk.
Like
I was
Stevens.
8 years old, you know.
We were doing something different where I was bored, but I didn't mean to
Minor
cut you
details.
off. Go ahead.
But yeah, so Linda started this place because, you know, she really wanted to be a part of this revitalization. She wanted to get involved. So it was a conversation she had with her family. She's like, I want to be a part of this. At first, she wasn't really thrilled to be moving to Hamilton because she actually moved into Hamilton with her husband because her husband grew here. They got the name for Casciano actually from the original Italian last name of her husband's grandfather, whose last name was Casciano. When they settled here, they had to switch it, you know, just to find a job. So that's when they switched to Casciano. But for the idea of this place, they switched it to Casciano, you know, the authentic Italian. We have a lot of Italian families that come through every summer. And this is where they stop by because it's as authentic as you can get.
I'm impressed, right?
Yes.
Because I never even knew that the story behind the name and why it changed and all that stuff.
And like it changed, and we have been open. Well, we will be open for 11 years in November.
Oh, wow. Okay.
I've been a customer since 2010, so I've been here for 8 of those 11 years.
Wow.
This place opened its doors in 2007.
Right. Well, listen, I'm having a little technical difficulty, so we're going to ghetto this thing up real quick. Kareem, can you go in there and give me another microphone because this thing keeps cutting in and out. But we're going to continue. What's your role here?
Sure. So I'm a barista, and because it is a small business, we all wear many hats. So I do our human resources, our hiring, our training. I've done our training manual. I also am in charge of our social media stuff. And I do half of the orders between me and my manager. So I'm 5 days a week full-time, and I'm also at school 2 days a week full-time.
All right. Don't worry about it, Kareem. I'll just hold it.
That's awesome. And then, like our boss, again, she wears several hats because we also have a subsidiary business right on 2nd Street, Kitchen 19, and that kind of supplies with all of our food stuff because we needed more kitchen space. And they also do, like, catering classes over there and, like, cooking classes with, like, shop chefs and a bunch of other, you know, local chefs.
Oh, wow.
That's really interesting.
That's awesome.
Huh.
So explain the art that's on the wall.
Yes.
We have a lot of art.
So we try to keep everything local. Anything from our bakery like items, it's all as local as we can get. So local bakers and even our artists. The artist that we always have featured is Marina Tal, and she features a lot of like, you know, local art pieces like from Cape May all the way down to Hamilton. And we tried to like, you know, make it a place to gather and to connect with people.
Okay.
So it's not just meeting for a cup of coffee, like, because before then, like, where would you hang out in Hamilton, really? There's only really bars, maybe wineries, but there was not a place for everyone to meet. And that's kind of like when we started introducing the artwork, you know, to feature local and, you know, really value local. So we feature a different artist every month. Typically goes hand in hand with the theme for Third Thursday. So Third Thursday, all the shops down here stay open a little bit later to get more people to come to the downtown area. Different shops have different specials. And we have an art reception for our artists, and we actually do a press release in the newspaper for it as well. And we do sell all of the artwork here. I've sold several pieces, and I know some people are like, why would you buy a $500 piece? I've sold several. So
Wow.
it does pay off, and we're supporting local, which is what we care about here.
That's awesome.
That's great.
Now, listen, I'm so proud of you. You know why? Because you look really, really familiar to me. Can you let the people know how we know each other?
Okay, so Mr. Josie here was my TV media teacher
You were in that class too?
back in my
Listen, I had Hamilton locked down.
Sound like
back
it.
in my
Sound like
sophomore
it had
year
a
of
lot.
high school. And that year, I also auditioned to be in his homeroom, not because I wanted it, just because.
Wait.
So-
you had an audition to be in
Yes,
his
to
homeroom?
be in
It
his
was- it
homeroom.
was serious.
So we had a morning announcements homeroom. So we have a whole like TV setup where we announce to the whole, you know, rest of the school. And I auditioned not because I wanted, just because like I was there for moral support for my friends. So I auditioned. I saw him in class later that day, and he's like, I have a bone to pick with you. And I'm like, what did I do now? He's like, you could have been in my homeroom, but you don't really want it. You just did it for fun. I'm like, well, yeah, like I'll audition next year. So I did it for real the following year. But it was like a great experience. Taught me a lot.
Did you miss out on anything from not being in his homeroom for a whole year?
I hope not. I mean, I still knew all the people. It just meant I had to go to regular homeroom. And I'll be
Regular
right
boring
Okay.
program. Well, thank
We
you
have
for being on.
customers,
We'll
yeah.
bring you back
We have
on there.
customers, so-
Sir, if you can slide over here, we need to introduce you here. So what we doing here, we're switching some things up on the podcast a little bit, and I'm going to call him our resident expert on sports.
Yes.
I know it's kind of, he's
Dr. Kyle.
Dr. Kyle.
Dr. Kyle.
I like it. You
Yes.
might have your own show called Dr. Kyle.
Dr. Kyle.
I won't take that personally.
Dr. Kyle is here.
Let's make some noise with Dr. Kyle.
Dr.
That is
Kyle.
now your new name on the podcast. I love it. So this, I guess, explain some people your background in sports a little bit. And I know we were talking a little bit off air about football. I guess walk us through that process from when you went through, midget football, and your father was like, you can't play that.
Sure. Yeah, absolutely. So I grew up in a household where I was one of four, the only boy. Had three sisters, so it was tough. Had to get some thick skin early on. But my father was a special education teacher, high school teacher, and he did that with the sole purpose of coaching football. Really didn't want to teach much; he just wanted to coach. So he learned after 13 years that probably wasn't the best reason to become an educator.
Right.
But growing up around that got me into sports at a very young age. My father was adamant, though, like you referred, that couldn't play football until I was old enough to basically hold my own. I was a smaller kid, and you know how it is when they're younger. They say weight classes, but it's usually weight/age.
Right,
and I was generally 30 plus pounds lighter than everybody else that was in my age. So going across the middle when you're 60 pounds playing against a bunch of 100-pounders, usually doesn't end up too well. Yeah. So I played 1 year when I was younger, just to kind of give me a little bit of a taste of it. I think my dad did it just to humor me, get me off his back. But really started playing football when I got into high school. I went to Haddon Heights High School. But I played football. Wasn't the only thing. I played baseball growing up. From my first, some of my first childhood memories were on a baseball diamond. Played a little soccer growing up. Communist kickball, we refer to it now.
I love it.
But I'm an equal opportunity athlete. I love them all. I don't. I'm even down to little table tennis.
Okay.
Some pickleball. I know Nicole, my wife. She's all about pickleball, and
what is pickleball?
Well, how do you really describe pickleball?
All right, Doctor, you just can't be finding sports and just saying that you want to be.
Listen, pickleball is a really interesting sport. It's almost like, I want to say it's almost like tennis, sort of, almost.
It is. But
the net's lower, and it's like a paddle.
Okay, the net is already low at tennis.
But it's not a tennis ball that you're using.
You're using a wiffle ball.
Right.
And they're wooden rackets. And it's essentially a tennis court inside, and you're smacking a wiffle ball over.
It ain't nothing but tennis.
Where do I find these? Was it
gym
pickleball
class?
courts?
You gotta go back to gym class.
They actually do have pickleball courts, don't they? Out in Ocean City, I believe, or somewhere out there. I think there's pickleball courts there.
Ocean City has a whole lot.
I haven't joined that league yet. I'll have to keep my eye open.
Okay.
That's
next podcast.
That's next on the list.
The doctor is
Let me do my homework.
Pickleball league.
The pickleball league near you.
Yes.
That is interesting.
Yeah, but it's it carried on. I went to college. I went to Rutgers University. I played football at Rutgers. I was a walk-on.
Now this is different. The last two guys that we had on here, actually three, were actually like 3 4-star players. Explain your experience.
Well, I was about to say, because I
was probably about
football too.
A 0.2-star player. I wouldn't even give myself a 1.
Right.
But I mean, truth be told, what happened was when I came out of high school, I had some smaller schools that were looking at me, and I had some offers from even a couple of 1AA schools. But I had my mind set that I wanted to go to a big school, and I just wanted to play in front of a big crowd.
Gotcha.
I wanted to be part of that whole thing. Rutgers was the only opportunity that presented itself. Okay. I wasn't even asked to go there. My father actually filled out the application for me and told me that he did it. And I went. So I showed up in my first semester on campus. I found out about the walk-on tryout. Showed up. I was probably the smallest kid there. And probably about 55, 65 kids showed up. And just ran around, caught a few passes. I got a call back a few days later and said, hey, can you clear your schedule from 11 a.m. to 6 p.m. every day? We want you on the team.
That is awesome. Now, that's a little different. Maybe Temple was a little ghetto in terms of their process, because it was like I signed up and was like, all right, I'm going to play football. They were recruiting me before, but I decided to go out there. And it was like, all right, practice is at such and such time. Let's just go. And there was no tryouts or anything. It was just like, you just go out there, put your helmet on.
Just roll on down, see what you can do.
Right.
I think it depends on the success of the program. I'm pretty sure that Notre Dame's a little different with their process of walk-on.
You ain't seen the movie Rudy?
I did see the movie Rudy.
Yeah, a little bit, yeah.
That is very, very interesting. Well, welcome on to the show.
Yes, Doctor.
I'm definitely going to be talking to you about sports a little bit, so get your thoughts together and everything else. But we have another special guest in the building.
Yes.
Alisha Negron's in the building.
Yes.
Hey.
What's happening, lady? How you doing?
I'm great. Sun's out, feeling good. Did some yoga today. So,
I'm glad you said that because it's exactly what we're going to be talking about. She is a yoga / Zumba / I don't know what else.
She's a guru.
Like we got a doctor and a guru. Spirituality. We go way back too.
Was you in the homeroom too or no?
No, I was in a team media class as well.
See that? I told you I had Hamilton on lock.
It sounds like it.
I had it on lock.
in Hamilton. I came up to Hamilton
like
preschool up until senior year of high school.
That's crazy. That is
and you had my sister too.
I did.
Alisha as well.
Yes, I forgot about that.
Yeah.
I've been here for a minute.
You've been here for a hot minute.
Yeah, a little bit. So explain to the people what you do.
Yes. So I am a Zumba instructor, and I am in the process of becoming a yoga instructor, but Zumba is my main thing. It's basically a Latin-inspired dance cardio. So if you want to come and work out and not feel like you're at a boot camp and you just want to dance and let loose, this is the place to be at. So you're just having a good time and burning a lot of calories.
I think this is the perfect profession for you.
Oh, yes, especially for me.
For you. Somebody that's outgoing and
full of energy.
Full of energy.
Was she the student that wouldn't sit down?
Oh my God, I would get in trouble all the time. I talked all the time.
Exactly. I was like, can you sit down, please?
I mean, I can't. I have to move my body. I can't sit still.
There's a diagnosis for that.
I was going to say, this day and age, you're getting medicated.
I'm on the holistic path, so I don't mess with. That's why I meditate. I didn't do today, so that's why I'm all perky.
So what got you interested in this journey?
So after I graduated from college, I went to Rowan. I decided to move to California. Yeah, so I moved out to San Francisco, and then I was out there for a few years. And I was in a really weird place. I didn't know where I was going in my life. I was in an office job, and I'm like, I cannot be in corporate. This is not me. And one day I went to Dolores Park, and there was music and people dancing, and I walked over there, and it was Zumba, and I was like, what is this?
You started dancing.
Of course, I joined in, and I was like, this is perfect. And I met the instructor, and we got in contact, and one thing led to the next. I became an instructor out there. I started teaching in the same program at that same park.
That's crazy.
You took over the program.
I didn't take over. I took over. So I think I manifested it because the girl that was teaching, she just left, and I kind of manifested that I wanted this spot, and I got it.
Did you make her leave?
Yeah, she did.
Okay.
She went on to other things.
She did the shook night, held her over the balcony, and was like, "Listen, you gonna leave this part."
We're still good friends. We're going to Zumba convention in July in Orlando. It's a big thing. But I just blossomed from there, and I was in a really dark place, and it just really brought back myself again. I was really lost, and Zumba just came to me, and just inspiring other people just really brought me to life.
Right.
And I connected with so many people, and now I'm back here. But coming back here, Zumba blew up for me. I have a huge connection. I've made so many students. It's amazing. It's a really good, humbling feeling to just dance and be able to see your students feel good and I'll say sexy in their own skin, and that's a beautiful thing in my eyes.
Let's go back, right? Because I want to go back to, you said you graduated from college, you went into corporate, and you just was trying to find yourself at that point. To me, that's a natural progress with a lot of people, and I think a lot of people go into school and they think that, all right, I got this degree, I'm just going to go out here and do whatever the degree is. That, Miss Kashan was here and was telling about her son, and he was in corporate America big time, and it was just this is not for me. I'm out and I'm going. It's just an interesting process that I just think people need to understand that is a natural progression. I mean, I even went through it on myself when I went to TV. I was like, this does not feel right at all. I should be doing something else. And it kind of moved me to another space. Did you have that experience?
I definitely had that experience. So again, I was on my way to law school because again, I wanted to help young people, and I realized that no, this is not going to be the way. Sitting in the courtroom every day, all day, trying to defend them and get them another opportunity, you have to catch them a lot earlier. So for me, it was more so that no, I don't want to do this.
Got you. You have that experience too?
I was going to say, what percentage of people would you actually say, go through college with full intention of what they want to do, graduate with that degree, and then carry on a lifelong career in whatever their mindset was? I mean, it's got to be sub 50%.
No, it's lower. I would say lower than that.
Yeah. I'm in an industry that I didn't even know existed until after college.
Wow.
So,
Crazy.
Yeah.
They say the average person changes careers about 7 times on the average before they go. So I think that's really interesting.
Yeah.
But let's get back to it. So where's your studio at that you work out of now?
Yeah, so I actually teach at a yoga studio, which kind of worked out because I can take the classes for free. It's a new yoga studio in Berlin. It's called Lavender Koi Yoga. I highly recommend it. They just opened it up in 6 months, and they are just killing it with the business. It's an amazing place. If you want Zen, go there. So I'm teaching beginners.
What is Zen?
Yeah, go. I'm a Laker fan. All right, so what is Zen? What's
Zen is just like
It's Phil Jackson, right?
just tuning in with yourself.
Triangle.
A few extra passes. That's what Zen is, right?
Yeah, so everyone has their own way of Zen. So for me, Zen is when I'm with myself and with my thoughts, and I just tune into how I'm feeling and listening to myself, because our mind is constantly racing, and or there are inner critic and making us feel like crap all the time. So that to me is when I sit with myself and really hear myself, my true self. That's Zen.
So let me ask you this: can this Zen get me out of a conversation before like a basketball comes on? Can I use some type of Zen?
So you could
I need intervention, so I don't have to talk.
Focus on your breathing. You can breathe for like do 5 deep breaths in, 5 deep breaths out, and like focus your attention on one thing, and it'll keep you in the present.
Okay, I have to paint a picture for you. The game is about to come on, right? And then someone comes to you and say, "Hey, can we talk?" Can I then go into my Zen mode and start breathing deep?
So you're gonna be like, "Listen, I need a moment. This is my moment."
3, 2, 1, 1, 2, 3.
Yes. Whatever, you gotta just be real with yourself. Be like, "Listen, this is my time. I'll get back to you later." That's it.
That works.
You just gotta be yourself.
In my house, it's usually followed up by a backhand.
Yeah, I've seen your wife lay hands on you.
Or you should like put a sign up like, "This is my Zen time. Don't interrupt while you're watching the game."
Then I ain't gonna be able to watch the game. Because if you're saying that your Zen time is watching the game, is what you're saying.
That's what you're saying, right?
I thought you were talking about before you even got a chance to watch the game.
The conversation is, can we talk? Like, the announcers are doing the pregame and they're saying, okay, let's get ready for tip-off. And then, hey, can we talk? Tip-off is happening in 30 seconds.
That's when you breathe and you're like, not at the moment. I'll get back to you later.
That works.
Come see me a commercial.
If you have a calm mind, if you're defensive, then they're going to get defensive back. So just be like, let's talk later. Calm.
Or you can flip it on them and you can preach Zen to them real quick and say, why don't you take a moment and meditate on your thoughts?
Go. Why don't you go do some yoga?
Why don't you take a moment or maybe, 2.5 hours and think on those thoughts and we'll get back to it.
Listen, Dr. Kyle wants you to try it out.
Try it out. Let us know.
You are a taste tester.
Yes.
There's a new yoga studio. Go check it out in Berlin.
No, I think the Sixers come on tonight, this afternoon. I want you to go home to your wife and I want you to do exactly what you and then report back to us and let us know how.
If I can still speak after that, I'll absolutely report back to you.
I already know what Mrs. Murphy's going to say.
It's not going to be made for TV.
No, it's not.
Podcast material.
That's so funny.
So you going from Zumba to yoga. Like, what's the connection? Meditation, yoga. What's the difference?
To me, it's like a balance. So like Zumba, you're dancing, you're using all your muscle, and you're just going crazy. When you're done that, you got to remember to recover and take care of your body and stretch. So I balance those two out. So I'll be dancing, going crazy, shaking everything, and then you gotta come home and you stretch, and then you're in your body again. Because if you don't stretch, your body just tightens up, and you hold a lot of your emotions. You gotta let it out. So it's like a yin and yang. I'm in, like I said, in the spiritual mindset. It just balances out. And actually, there's a yoga called Buti Yoga that has movement in it. Yeah, this is something I just got into.
Is it sponsored by Cardi B?
I'm surprised it's not sponsored by Cardi B, but it should be. They play her music. So 3 weeks ago, I went to this class called Buti Yoga. I had no idea what it was, but I needed to check it out, and I'm so glad I did. Buti Yoga is like you're doing it's like yoga fusion, but you are moving your body like crazy. Like, I don't know if I should say this, but you're a downward facing dog and you're like kind of twerking. And so,
wait a minute.
Yeah, Yeah.
Wait, what kind of studio is this again?
So, but no, this is like, but you're doing like movements as well as like Indian tribe movements. You're like chanting. Okay. And you're playing.
Wait.
Y'all can talk. Okay.
Did I go too far?
No, you were fine.
No.
So
should I bring dollar bills to this place?
No, this is it's a woman. It's more for women, and it's about connecting us and being in a tribe and just like empowering one another.
By twerking.
Yeah.
Empowerment through twerking.
Yeah, but you're doing a lot of hardcore workout. Like, say you're doing push-ups to downward facing dog. Push-ups, like you're using all your muscle groups, and you're doing a squat, you're lifting your leg up, but you're feeling intense, you're sweating, you're screaming, and it's amazing.
That is twerking. Just what you.
And you got the twerking in there too, and she has some Cardi B playing too. So I was like, this is amazing. Yeah.
Listen, I learn something new every single day.
When you go home, go on YouTube and just check it out. Buti Yoga. And
just make sure your wife's not around.
I'm about to say, the site will be blocked on my internet.
It might be blocked already.
I'll send you a clip of what it is.
It might be blocked already. That's
crazy.
It's very appropriate, I promise.
Get a phone call. I see you checking out that video. I blocked it on purpose.
Yes.
But this is what we're going to do. We're not going to go to the booty twerking thing. We ain't going to do that. But we're going to come to your studio and we're going to do some Zumba.
Yes.
Well, I think that me and Dr. Kyle need to go do some observations and make sure that this is appropriate for people.
I agree. Let me stop. I got to stop at the ATM first before we get there.
Yes, he's a doctor.
You watch Married with Children?
I do.
I'm telling you,
that episode where they had that dance studio next to the shoe place and they put them holes in the wall?
Oh my God, that's hilarious.
That's
I'm telling you, it's not what you expect. It's more so like, you just got to come check it out. You got to take it and check it out yourself.
We're going to have to go check it out.
I'll tell you what, yoga. I've never done Zumba, but yoga was one of those things that I think everybody has a preconceived notion before they first do it.
Yeah.
And they kind of look at it and they're like, yoga.
It's very challenging.
It is.
Underestimated it like no other.
Yeah. Right.
It's hard. It is
I've
really
never
hard.
tried it. What do you mean it's challenging? You tried yoga?
I've tried it, and I used to do it in the morning, and it made me feel better throughout the day, physically. But there are some moves that are like really difficult.
Push your body to the limit.
All right, give me a move that's really difficult.
Downward face, hardest booty shaking.
Yeah, the hardest.
I would have to say for me,
the downward twerk.
There's this pose. It's called pigeon pose. So you're basically. Have you ever heard of pigeon pose?
No.
Your leg is like this, and your back leg is straight back, and you're just stretching for a good 3 minutes. You hold all your emotions on your hips, so you're feeling the pain, and you're feeling a lot of emotion. It's a very challenging one.
Why would you do that to yourself?
It releases so much tension.
Zen, man.
A lot of your emotions are in your hip. Is that what you said?
That's what a lot of the yoga instructors say, that we carry emotions in our hips. So like if you feel if you're in a pose where you're stretching that out, you'll feel a lot of emotion coming from it.
Is that like pain, like your muscles
pain
ripping?
But you got to listen to your body. Like if you feel like you are in pain, you got to back off. But once you feel like your edge, you breathe into it, and you're like kind of like you're okay. It's a challenge, but you're gonna get through it. And then when you get through it, you're good.
You're good.
Yeah.
No, it doesn't sound like you're doing it. Sound like you're going to triage. That's where it sounds like you're going. Get checked out.
I want you guys to come and take a yoga class because you'll understand like what I mean.
Are you gonna make us take a?
Yeah, you should.
That's going to be the next podcast we're going to do live. It's going to be in the yoga studio.
I got a thing I got to go do.
So let's make this bridge. I know when I was playing sports, and one of the things they wanted us to do was to clear our mind before the game, and then also have a vision of what the first play and the first quarter is going to go. Did you have that same experience when we were playing at Rutgers, or you kind of just was?
Yeah, no, absolutely. And a lot of people do it a different way. You talk to a lot of people. You go into a lot of locker rooms where you have music bumping. You have whatever the heck it is, and everyone's kind of getting all juiced up in whatever fashion that they find that works for them. I was kind of the exact opposite. I like to go into the corner of the room, put my headphones on, listen to some bagpipes or something, bring it way down, calm me down. Because then I'd find out when I get too emotional, you're out there for warm ups and you're breathing heavy and you're panting, and you're like, what the heck's happening to me? Why am I this tired already? So I try to bring it all the way down and say, all right, let's start with a clean slate.
Like grounding yourself.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I was the opposite. I played music because I saw it as fun. Like, I knew I wasn't going to have a career and I wasn't going to make it to the NFL, so I wanted to just have fun. So I would play music and just and be relaxed. In high school, I was a quarterback, so I had to be focused, but at the same time, I wanted it to be fun. So I wasn't, the rah-rah, jumping up and down, hitting myself in the chest and headbutting people type stuff, but I still wanted, was listening to my music and ready to go.
But baseball guys don't do that kind of stuff. Like, baseball's a whole different type of
y'all got
well, you don't have
season.
You don't
have to be an athlete. You have to be a baseball player. So
It's different.
So you
Okay.
saying baseball players are not athletes?
not necessarily.
Bo Jackson.
Not necessarily.
Mike
Not
Trout.
necessarily.
Bo Jackson.
No,
Bo Jackson.
That's okay. We'll talk about that in a minute.
Yeah. John Kruk, what an athlete he was, right?
Deion Sanders, prop John.
Yeah.
But just to get back to that focus piece, I think it's really important for us to do that in our everyday life as well. I have a 40-minute commute to work. So in my brain, I'm going through what I think my day is going to look like and get into that place. So when I walk in, because I know when I walk in the door, it's on. It ain't no getting in my office, have some coffee, and an hour later, then decide to work.
They catch you in the parking lot. Remember yesterday?
It's even better. I get hit on because I got my email on my phone and the text. I'm getting hit on my way to work.
Wow.
Like, it's just constant nonstop. I have to have that vision and have to be focused and ready to go in there, or else. Listen, all the emotions be in my hips and I'll be in trouble up in there. Very, very interesting.
Yeah, I think my commute is more like 3, so I have to think about what it was that I said to offend somebody the day before and how I can fix it.
Avoid them potholes.
Them crack rims? Terrible. Yeah.
You said, what was that commercial? What was the commercial?
Oh, with the guy, he was talking bad about the potholes.
Yes, that's correct. Talking about the potholes. Really, really interesting. So let's talk about your diet. Do you have a special diet along with this thing, or you just kind of do what you want to do?
With Zumba, definitely have to balance it because you're burning so much calories. So I'm all about meal prepping because I don't have time during the week. Because I do still have a corporate job, unfortunately. I'm trying to lean off of it, but I don't have time during the week to do it. So I do my green shakes every morning. So it's just a bunch of like cucumbers, all green apples, just to give me all my nutrients that I need for the day.
Does that work?
It don't taste that good, but it works. I feel good. I feel
Change your poop different.
I mean, it's just because I'm not really a big salad person, which you would think I am. I'm not really into salads, so that'll be my green for the day, and then I'll have a bunch of eggs in the morning, and I don't know. For me, I'm about protein because I'm petite, so I gotta keep my muscle mass because I'm always burning it.
Right.
And Zumba, so it's a big balance, but I'm really simple, like grilled chicken with some broccoli. If I want to be fancy, I'll do asparagus. It just really depends on my week. If I want to do like
where's the cheesecake?
A turkey enchilada I'll do.
I want to know.
Listen, but there's a balance. Don't get me wrong. I will eat a cookie a day. I mean, at 4 o'clock, my sweet tooth comes and I get
one cookie.
I like a sleeve of
a
them.
big
one. And that's before 11 a.m.
No, like
one cookie?
Before I brush my
it's a big one. And this is every day.
That's how I brush my teeth.
But no, there's a balance. Like I'm not really like picky. Like I don't like to eat processed food. I don't like to go to any fast food places. I'm really picky about what I eat. But I want a nice burger. I'm going to eat a nice burger. It's just a big balance. Like I'm Puerto Rican, so I eat rice and beans like every day. Like, but
one cookie though, that bothers me.
I know.
You had like 7 of them.
I did, absolutely.
No, the problem is I crash and then I can't teach my class and I feel like not that great. But the days that I don't teach it to, but that's different. I'll have
you need to condition your body to eat more cookies. So then that crash.
True that is very true.
And follow it with a soda. Listen, you'll get through.
Yeah, but let me tell you. But the funny thing is, one time at work in my drawer, there was a big thing of Oreos, and I literally went through it in like a couple days. So yeah, if I had a bunch of cookies in front of me, I will eat them all. But I only buy them because they're like $2 a cookie. I'm not going to be spending like $6 on a cookie. If it was a big thing, I'd be eating all of it. Trust me.
So how often do you teach at Zumba? Or
I
any
teach 3 days a week.
3?
It used to be 5, but I had to break it down to 3.
That's a lot of workout 5 days a week.
Yeah.
That's high demand.
Burns you out.
Sounds like it.
So how can people sign up for your class?
So I teach at the Lavender Curry place. I also teach at Echelon Health and Fitness. You can come in as my guest for 10 days. So you can come in for free for 10 days. Try the gym out.
I'm thinking at like 10 minutes. I don't know.
10 minutes. Like come every day and try
It's a heavy
it out.
investment.
Not just for Zumba, but to try out the other classes. And they have a lot of good group fitness classes and a lot of personal trainers. But
Don't get offended if I walk out and you see me almost about to pass
I
out.
don't take it personal. I've learned to not take it personal. Like, people walk out and they're like, "You're too fast for me." I'm like, "I'm sorry."
Do you track them down? Because I know you have the speed to catch people.
I'll find them on Facebook. I'll be like, "So what happened?" No, I'm kidding. No, it's not.
My DM blowing up.
Yeah, like, why'd you think my pass? But no, I know when I see my students are like dying, I'm like, all right, time to turn it down because they are going to kill me.
There's some basic moves. Like, I never did it before. Like, and I seen your video and I watched it. And I was like, yo, she going in. I don't know. I can't keep up with that. Is there basic moves?
Oh, for sure. So, like, those are more, like, intermediate style, I guess. But, like, my beginner class that I'm doing, it's all modified. I'm cueing the whole time, and I'm slowing it down. So, if you're doing salsa, I'm not going to be going crazy. I'm going to be, this is one step, move it in, and then we start going fast until I know that they got it. Because it's not about me, it's about them, you know?
So, man, what I saw online was an intermediate class, basically.
It's higher level?
That's what I'm saying.
Not to say higher level, it's more experience. Like, they've done the class for like a year. They know my style. They know the choreo. So that's when I know I could keep going high. But when it's all beginners, I'm like, I got to break it down a little. It's all about your students, because it's not about, when you're a teacher, it's not, you're not the star. It's about them.
No. I think that when I'm doing my class and presentations, I am the star.
Yeah, of course, but you don't want them to feel intimidated when they see a girl dancing and killing it. I want them to feel good.
Like, just step up. Keep up. Everybody fell in the class.
Absolutely.
What do you teach?
I'm a school counselor.
Oh, wow.
So when I go in the classroom, I am the star.
You are the star.
I am the star.
Give me some respect.
Yeah, that's what you need.
That's why everybody leave out of there.
Absolutely.
They got to go to yoga after that.
Yes, Zen, absolutely.
Oh, man. I want to switch gears over to Dr. Kyle.
Yes, Dr. Kyle.
I like the Dr. Kyle. You do need your own show.
Dr. Kyle have his own show.
Yes.
Listen.
I'm not making nearly enough money in life for that doctor.
Sorry, nobody needs.
I gotta evaluate a few things when we walk out of here today.
That is funny. We want to talk sports real quick. We got the NBA playoffs going on right now. My squad is the Sixers, so I just wanted to know: you guys think that the Sixers going to make it all the way to the finals and win this thing, or
they can beat Boston?
They can beat Boston. You think it's going to come down to Boston?
They can beat Boston.
What about? Do you think they brought Embiid back too soon?
No. Come on. You heard him the other day. He's got like 50 of those masks, so he'll be all right.
He'll be good. Yeah. I was watching the game with somebody, and they was like, "Why you got that mask on?" Like, he has to wear it obviously in order to play. But I don't know.
He broke his nose. Why did he have the mask?
He fractured his orbital. He took a shoulder, coincidentally, from Markelle Fultz, who was out for 58 games. His first game back, 4 minutes into the game, he put a shoulder right into Embiid's face.
How? He's 7 foot.
I think he was going down for a ball. It was a weird play. It was one of those plays when you watched it, you were like, we're snake bitten.
Right. The only thing I don't like is that when Embiid's on the court, like, Simmons' game goes down a little bit. I feel like Embiid's trying to be the star too much, but I feel like it should be Simmons' team.
It is, but the counter to that, you saw during that stretch when they were winning a lot of games that it was Simmons' team. But you saw a good defensive team in Miami in that second game the other night that made adjustments and figured some things out.
Gotcha.
And you need that inside presence. You need balance.
Yeah. Balance is
when you're shooting the lights out, you live and die by shooting the lights out. And when you have a game when you go ice cold, where they figure out how to play some defense on the perimeter,
right.
You need some kind of inside presence. And as much as we all love Simmons, that's not his game. And they don't have anybody else.
I'll say this: it's a good thing that they're in Philadelphia and not in LA, because they would put a microscope on those two and they would blow it out of proportion. So for Simmons, he has to realize that he's Kobe, and he has to play Kobe's role, which is to get everyone else involved before he decides to take off. Now, Embiid, he's such a dynamic player that he really needs to go in that post and start to dominate.
He needs to. But he stretches the defense, too, with his outside shot a little bit. You have to respect his three and the ability to shoot a little bit.
He hit 3 of them the other night.
Yeah, but 3 out of how many? After a while.
They all shoot a lot of threes, though.
And last night I watched the game with Miami. I'm sorry, with Cleveland and Indiana.
Yes.
And I watched them shoot themselves out of a victory. They just kept coming down, shooting threes.
The man of games changed.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So they went, for the last 5 minutes of the game, they went 0 for 9. And out of those 9 shots, 4 of them were threes. They just kept shooting.
Just kept shooting.
That's why there's no safe lead in the NBA either.
They were 17 yesterday. Did you watch the game?
No, but I'm listening.
Oh, okay.
It means something when the NBA is the only league that offers a television package that tunes you in just to the last 5 minutes of every game.
Yeah,
that tells you a little something right there.
Yeah, that is true. That's a great point.
So talking about roles and how everybody fits on this team, what's your thoughts when LeBron comes to Philly next year? What do you think? What adjustments is Simmons going to have to make at that point?
He's going to have to pack up and leave.
You think so?
You can't have two people occupying the same space at the same time.
I think LeBron has to adjust his game.
Okay, you're talking about
because he's capable of doing it.
You're talking about not even a star, a mega star.
But LeBron can play.
Be a regular star.
LeBron can play any position on the court and be probably arguably a top 3 player in the league at any position on the court.
Let me ask this: how many movies do they make in Philadelphia per year? Just give me a number. 10, 5, 3. LA, we about 300-400. A million movies.
I don't understand the connection with you in LA. How that happened?
Oh, LeBron's going to TV. He's already producing movies. He has a house. Absolutely, he should live in.
You can have him. I don't want him. You can have him.
I want him.
Take him.
Yeah, we don't need him.
No, we don't.
Wait a minute, you brought it up.
We'll be in the finals this year.
You think so?
He will be.
The Sixers are going to the finals.
Yes.
According to Dr. Codd.
I agree. I second that opinion. Yes.
Nice.
I don't agree. I don't think it's going to happen.
Where do you see him getting bounced?
I see them making it to the Eastern Finals, and I think it's going to come down to coaching. I think what you saw in Miami when they made that adjustment, that adjustment is going to be tenfold when you're in that finals, and I don't think the coach of the Sixers is at that level yet to be able to make those counter moves that he's going to need to make.
Okay.
I think he's going to get out.
I agree, but I disagree because of some of the fact that although you have the coaching, Philadelphia has superior players. And the veterans that they have around them are making really big shots. I've never seen J.J. Redick go to the hole.
J.J. Redick.
How about Marco Bellinelli?
Oh.
I didn't even know where he was. He just showed up one day.
Still in the league. He's one of the best off-balance shooters you've seen.
But I will say that the team that they may have a problem with is probably going to be Toronto. Toronto's playing lights out basketball right now.
I'll tell you what, though. I mean, and we were talking about being out-coached and Brett Brown potentially being in a position where he's not quite at that level of being able to make the adjustments. I mean, we saw a young team. I mean, they are a young team. They've got some veteran presence, but by and large, they're a young team. I mean, it took them one game in the playoffs to mentally make the adjustments necessary. You don't see that out of kids. You don't see that, kids. And they're only going to get better at that as they go on now.
Wow.
I have another question, and I was talking to a young person about this. Lonzo Ball is 20 years old? 19, 20 years old?
I think so, yeah.
So young.
Yeah.
He did 1 year.
1 year.
So, okay. These guys are coming out to be, I guess, freshmen. Mm-hmm. They're following, I guess, what was going on the last 10 years where everybody was holding their kid back. Mm-hmm. He's 20-year-old sophomore.
Mm. Wow.
Well, let's switch gears on that real quick. I got a question for you. What's your feeling? And this is actually great as well, as you guys are both educators. What's your feeling on the one and done?
I can't stand it.
I don't like it.
I can't stand it.
I don't like it.
Get rid of the college mandate. If these guys want to go, let them go.
That's basketball.
Or change it to the football model.
Well, I don't like the football model either. Because, again, what you're making players do is something that they don't want to do. We just got finished talking about how long it took us to really find our own path. Mm-hmm. But now you're forcing me to do something that I don't want to do. Right. School is not for me. I want to play sports.
Yeah,
I did the minimum what the state is requiring me to do to get a high school diploma. Mm-hmm. So why are you forcing me to do something that I don't want to do?
The counter to that I would have, from a basketball standpoint, absolutely 110% agree with you. From a football standpoint,
that can't happen.
It's a physical. Yeah. It's a physical difference.
But here's the thing. If you know as a scout, you're basing it off of potential. So what you're saying is that in 3 to 4 years, this kid is going to be able to play at this level. So what happens if this kid never makes it because he gets hurt or he makes a bad decision in college?
We should take the European model. We're the only country that doesn't have professional athletes at a young age, right? Mm-hmm. So if you take that model and bring it here, then you have... they can be professional athletes.
Well, let me say this. We do have professional athletes at a very young age, but they're called tennis players.
True.
They're called golf players.
That's true.
So you're talking about a possibility of someone turning pro at the age of 13 as a basketball player. I say, why not?
Why not?
If the parents are saying yes, then let them do it.
Right.
Yeah, I agree with that.
That's true. Really interesting. So we're going to continue this conversation, throughout these podcasts. Hopefully, Dr. Kyle will be back.
Yes, Dr. Kyle.
With some more sports stuff. But we want to switch gears back to what we always ask our guests.
Oh, absolutely.
My mic's messing up here. Sorry.
Oh, okay.
Got a little wire issue here. But Mr. Spence has a running question on there, and I didn't prepare you people for this question.
They'll do fine.
It'll be fine.
We have a doctor, we have a guru.
Yeah, a doctor and a guru on set.
So my question is really simple, but are either one of you petty? Do you have any petty moments?
Can you kind of like...
Sure. You have a student that comes into your classroom or your studio.
Okay.
Right? And for whatever reason, they leave. And then when they return, you say, no, you can't come back. Or somebody calls you, right, on the phone, and you're not able to get to the phone. And then you call them right back, and then they don't answer. But then they call you right back, and you say, you know what, I'm just not going to answer.
Spite.
No, actually, no.
You're not petty.
No.
Is that the Zen talking?
That's the Zen
I
talk.
used to be like, I used to take things so
petty.
personal.
Uh-huh.
Now I don't take anything personal. You can't take things personal.
So the cure to pettiness is going to yoga and Zen.
For me, it is. Everyone has their own way, but for me,
You're petty about something.
It is something you're petty
There's
about.
something that you're petty about.
You've had better. You had some petty moments. Doctor, what do
we'll
we
go
have?
back to me. Let me think about it.
Yeah.
first.
So I've changed a lot as well. In my, I've been in corporate America now for going on 10 years. And when I first started, yeah, absolutely. I mean, there was a probably an uncomfortable level of pettiness that I probably wasn't, and I probably wasn't all that proud of. But I've had a lot of really important mentors from a business perspective and also a personal perspective in my life that have really kind of shed some light on that topic and talked about not sweating the small things. Now, am I at a point now where I'm not petty? Absolutely not. And I think if anybody makes that comment, they're probably lying to some degree. But if I had to point out one thing, the one thing that still gets on my last nerve is being asked the same question by the same person more than 2 or 3 times.
That is
Time to repeat yourself.
Yeah, that's tough. Usually the person that's doing it is intoxicated, but
Well, oftentimes, and then the other part of that too is it's petty because I get aggravated, but I don't always necessarily get aggravated at the person. Then I start questioning myself and my delivery and how did I answer that person's question? Did I do the right thing?
Right.
So then the pettiness turns into a little bit of self-consciousness, I guess, and we start spiraling out of control. That's when I go to yoga.
Okay. Now
you're
totally
good.
deaf.
Now you're good.
Okay, because at first I was like, how do I get mad at my students? But no, definitely the past few years I've changed tremendously. Like I used to take things so personal and would like get mad over the little things.
Who'd you park at today? I'm just curious.
I parked over there.
You didn't want to park over here?
I didn't even think about coming up here. Is that like a petty thing?
She's in the VIP lot in the back.
Actually, I parked a little further. I wanted to walk a little bit. But
I wanted to walk. Okay.
I think for me, the one thing that still gets to me is when I feel like a family member or somebody really close to me just uses me for certain things instead of, and like not feeling appreciated. So instead of before, I would just be bitter about it and just, have a pity party. And now I'm more so like, well, what are they like? I changed my perspective. I put it in their perspective and not just like, I used to just always be about me, about like, oh, it's all about me. Yeah, it used to be like that. And now I feel like with yoga and Zumba has really humbled me to be like, it's not always about you. You got to put others first and understand that they got a life going on too. It's not about you. So, it's not. No. But I had to learn that.
He's not going to agree with you. Everything's about
him. Well, of course you have to be selfish, but you also have to be aware of other people too.
Hear that, Kareem?
No.
You gotta be aware.
No.
It's gotta have awareness and
No.
No. Define awareness.
No.
I guess. Yeah, this is gonna get real deep.
Go deep. Go deep, guru.
I guess like for me, like I want to like travel and see the world, but at the same time, like I feel there's this part of me that needs to be with the family and stay put with them. So I have to like, I have like my parents here, my grandparents here, like I feel like people are dependent on me. So I want to be selfish and travel, but I also need to be aware of like my niece that looks up to me and wants me to be around and like my sister who needs me. So I'm aware of them, but I also need to remember that I got to live my life first, but also be sensitive to the people that...
So what happens if you never get the opportunity to see the world?
I'll probably resent that, and that's on me. So that's why I'm in this uncomfortable state of mind actually this past 2 weeks. I've been transitioning because I do want to teach English abroad. Like that is my goal. It's been my goal for the past 2 years. I'm actually in the process of getting certified. But I'm going through this transition of like letting go of my family and just escaping by myself, and it's really scary and vulnerable. And I think I'm going somewhere way far from what you guys are trying to say.
No, keep going.
I'm sorry.
Keep going. You're helping. You are helping someone that's watching.
I should be selfish, but at the same time, I always put myself last, and I think that's petty moment for me. Is I put myself last, and instead of following my desire to travel, I put everyone before me.
So what's it going to take for you to get to that space to be like, I got to do this for me? Because at the end of the day, these people that you are so worried about made their own decisions and their own choices.
Yeah.
They put themselves in the situation that they currently are in. So
I have to,
why does it fall on you?
I have to let that go. I'm learning to let that go. I'm learning to realize that I can't worry about everybody else's life. I got to worry about me, myself, and I. But then I feel selfish also. So it's like I'm going through this. I mean, you guys I want to hear your point of view on that. Like, am I making any sense?
All right, here's the thing. It's times that when you don't take yourself and put yourself in different positions that you're not able to help other people.
That's true.
So you said that you have a niece that looks up to you. So do you want your niece to follow in your same footsteps, whereas though that she's not willing to live the one life that she's given?
Love that perspective. I've never looked at it that way.
That's why she talked to us.
I never looked at it that way.
The Empowernment Perspective.
I love that.
We'll help you.
You know what?
Here's what happens. So you go across seas and you're doing your own thing. Now what happens is that you are encouraging your niece to be able to do the same thing, and you have to take chances and take risks. But if you stay here in this little situation that you're in, you'll never know how much of impact you can have on the lives of other people. Not only just your niece, but also your sister and other family members.
Yeah.
Just to tie it in a personal experience, like growing up, we never traveled anywhere. Like we went on one vacation to Washington, D.C. like once in my life. So the world to me was Glassboro, New Jersey. It wasn't any bigger than that. So now that I have kids and now that I've traveled, like my first trip abroad, real trip abroad, my brother took me maybe 10 years ago to Greece. And I came back like, why do I live in the United States? Like, why am I here? But the thought never ever crossed my mind that the world is bigger. It took my older brother to say, he went out there and traveled, and he was like, look, there's a bigger world out there for you to explore. And I was like, you know what? I'm not going to do that to my kids. My kids are going to at least see and have the opportunity to do that. Then they can make their own decision.
Yeah.
If you choose to stay here and do this, then that's fine. But at least I've exposed you to those things. You going out there, like Kareem said, it makes it possible for your niece. She sees the possibility.
That's like a beautiful way to look at it.
So we're pretty. That's what we do here. We pretty things up.
I don't mean to get deep. I'm just in this transition of like, I know this is what I want to do, but I have to learn to let go of the opinions and what people think of what I'm doing. I just got to do it.
Yes.
And just be comfortable doing it alone. So
here's what's going to happen. Half the people, when you make your decision, half the people are going to be happy with whatever decision that you make.
Yeah.
And the other half the people are not going to be happy. So you're
can't
always
please everybody.
And that's exactly what happens is that you're only going to please half the people, but the only person that needs to be pleased in your decision is you.
At the end of the day. Yeah.
That just got deep.
Everybody's a critic.
Yes.
Everybody is, but we also are our worst critic too.
Yeah. But I say all the time too that people are critics of stuff that they have not done themselves. So they always pointing fingers. Even this, with the podcast stuff, the stuff that we're doing. Oh, you shouldn't be doing that. You shouldn't be saying that. And I'm like, have you ever had a podcast before? Have you
listened to a podcast?
No, I haven't. And I expect it. Yeah. But as an educator, like you're not going to reach everybody, and I just listen to. I'm there for the people that want to listen to me. Like I just did that little speech in Chicago, and there's probably 50 people in there. I know everyone wasn't listening, but that 1, 2, 3 people that actually listen, that's who I'm there for. So and I just kind of live my life not worrying about what other people think
or what they're doing.
I mean, I have a responsibility to my family and things.
Absolutely,
decisions are made on that. But even on that level, tell my wife like I'm going on the road. I'm out. Like make sure everything's straight. But and ultimately I'm going to do what I want to do in the end because I know my heart's in the right place. I can see if you were saying I'm going overseas to go crazy and all this other nonsense. All right, I'll be like, all right, listen.
You gotta calm down.
I'm just going to go overseas and I'm just going to walk. Like where you walk at?
Where you going?
I'm going to Zumba all over.
All over Europe. I'm just going to Zumba everywhere.
That is too funny. So pettiness.
Love that question. You just opened up a bunch of
That's what pettiness does.
I like it. I like it. I had to think about it for a second.
You start to embrace your pettiness.
I like your response too.
Embrace your inner pettiness.
I do like that, how you said it, repeating your question. Like that is, it's like they're not listening, you know?
Yeah.
But
it's tough because people are just waiting for the opportunity to talk. They're not listening to what you have to say a lot of times. It's really interesting.
That is true. I mean, how often are you engaging in a conversation with somebody that they're really not even looking you in the eyes?
They're not listening.
yeah, that is
And
the
you
most
know all they're
important thing.
doing. I'm doing it right here.
Yeah, I'm like that.
All they're doing is already trying to think about their next response. And you're having a hollow conversation going back and forth. You can sit there and talk to somebody for a half hour and absolutely nothing's accomplished.
I feel guilty right now because we talked about this running a podcast. Like I got to worry about the sound and everything. I'm not really listening to what people are saying. I'm just really thinking about what's the next.
No, but that's a good thing because now what happens is that you actually have to listen to the podcast.
I do.
To listen to what you was actually saying.
I said that.
Yeah, there you go.
That's crazy.
Bring up our numbers, absolutely.
You so stupid. So we're gonna wrap this podcast up. We can continue the conversation obviously when we're done, but I want people to know that we got some major things in the works.
Absolutely.
By the end, probably June, hopefully. I can't make that announcement yet, but it's something coming. We're going down to Atlanta to the Innovative Schools to talk about hip hop and how to reach today's hip hop generation. But coming from these places, and I do these today's lesson things, but I can't express more enough that when you go out there and put yourself out there, you run into so many opportunities, especially when you're doing something good. Every time we go to speak somewhere, we meet somebody that takes us to this next journey. Yes. Like we're going down to Atlanta, but you're based off your pettiness. We're going down there.
Pettiness brings you.
For free, actually.
Yes.
So shout out to them. But even still, like on the road, we use LinkedIn and we want to link up with some people down there. They don't know us from Adam, but they just know that they follow the podcast and know that we're doing great things, and they agreed to be on the podcast and building. We're going to meet this guy at Georgia Tech with some other stuff. So keep going out there and grinding, but also look for those opportunities. I just posted in today's lesson about work on your peripheral vision while you're working. So when you're in these situations and you're working, look for those opportunities. It's there. Then you got to ask yourself, is it really worth it for me to take it? And once you take those opportunities. But the important thing is a lot of you are sitting back and not doing anything. You're waiting for these things to come to you. Life is going to pass you by. Yes. People are going to run you over if you are just sitting there doing nothing. So go out there and try. Go see the world. You never know what's going to happen.
Don't be afraid to... Not to interject in that, but talking about the peripheral vision, on top of that, don't be afraid to switch a few different lenses in when you're looking at things. Don't be afraid to throw a different pair of glasses on and look at it from a different point of view.
Absolutely. So to close out with today's lesson, I know we talked briefly about mentorships. Make sure in any walk of life that you have and in any goals that you have in life, you need to surround yourself with people that mentors that are going to take you to the next level. And it's not just going to be one person. You need to build your team because there's certain people that are going to be able to do certain things for you.
Absolutely.
Whether it's a spiritual, whether it's a physical, whether it's from a business standpoint, you got to put yourself around people that have done it before also, and listen to them, and you'll be able to become successful. And they're going to take you so far, and then they're going to let you go so that you can fly. And understand that, and then you're gonna have to find new people.
Absolutely,
as you keep climbing. So you can't live in a bubble. You have to, get your team together and make sure it's the right players on that team to get you to that next level. So. I want to give out a couple shout outs to books. I forgot about that. Obviously, Life Music is out there. Pete Castellano has a book out there. Autumn.
Precious Ink. They have a book. Shalonda Austin has a book. So. And anyone else that has any type of books that they have, just contact us. We bring you on the show, talk about your book, give you a platform to discuss some of the things and experiences that you've had. So.
Absolutely. We're still looking for sponsors too. Like we're here at Casciano's in Hamilton. Thank you for being a great host to us.
Yes, good coffee too.
Yes, great coffee. So you in Hamilton, make sure.
And we're gonna get some cookies. Yeah, we'll get some cookies.
More than one.
We're gonna get her some cookies. Yes, absolutely. Yes, cookies. Yes.
So until next time, those out on Facebook Live, thanks for rocking with us today. Check us out, www.theempowermentperspective.com. We're also on Podbean, iTunes, Twitter, Instagram, you name it. We're on there. Trying to get to Spotify. About to get there soon. And I'm trying to crack the net on Tidal. They don't even have podcasts on Tidal. But I'm trying
highlight us,
to be the first one on.
Highlight us.
Yes, sir. So until next time, stay empowered.